right here.
This will be Shaft versus Solo to go up against KSC in round two.
Yes. But I had to reverse the other one. And thank you for saying that. The winner of this goes on to KSC. The loser out, shown the door.
Goes home.
Loser gets to go back to sleep. Oh wait, no, they're they're in Europe and Asia. So, but anyway, all right. Well, let's take a look at game one, ladies and gentlemen. Solo coming to the dance with double Ohio, triple Moskva, and a Nevsky. Remember, Nevsky was not banned this time around, so here it is. And a Gearing, a Ragnar, and a Shimakaze for the rest of the lineup. Toxic, are you able to tell us about Shaft's lineup?
Until they pan away again, yeah, they've got an Ohio, Yamato, Des Moines, Venezia, Nevsky, Gearing, Daring, Shima, and Haru. So they got four destroyers coming out.
Yeah,
Although
yeah.
Haru's sort of a cruiser anyway.
Well, and of course, the Haru is useful because it's got that special smoke. So you can use it to massively 420 an area, and you can see the Nevsky is already kind of saying, like, click, I'll be your safety belt. And he's just
Yep.
following.
Seen a lot of Harugumo paired with a Nevsky type thing. It's been
Mm-hmm.
a fairly common, I think, no matter what group you're looking at. Triple Moskvas. Oof.
Well, I mean, it's interesting that they went for all the ball tanking with cruisers, but they didn't do that with the battleships. I would have thought to see at least one Kremlin in general. We don't. We've got three Ohios and a Yamato
I'm
for
actually very
battleships.
curious where these. So if you look at the map, look at where the Moskvas are going.
Yeah, yep, and all three of the Moskvas,
Yeah.
and in Ohio. Well, so I've talked about this before. There's that legit thought that a strat could be to go all the way hard west push, but the problem with that is you waste a lot of time to get there because you're forced to go so far back, and you can see what's going to happen there. They have to go all the way around these islands just to get to A.
That being said, I mean, well, depending on how the team's split at this sea cap, there's ships there to meet them. There's
Mm-hmm.
very organized, daring Haru Nevsky trio heading towards sea right now.
Yep, I like the daring in front of the Haragumo, of course, because of spotting. But my guess is they want to keep the daring in the area as well, so that the daring can possibly, smoke extract the Nevsky once the Haragumo smoke expires.
Very curious where is that Solo is sending their Nevsky right now. There's gonna be radar range on both of those Nevskys to those respective destroyers. They both got smokes right now.
Mm-hmm.
Shaft is, I think, double. They're gonna smoke with the Haru first, leave the Nevsky there.
Yep.
Neither team electing to actually go into the cap. They're both sitting right behind it. But if either one were to radar right now, they'd spot the opposing destroyer.
How about the fact that Solo just grabbed D with no problem? I mean, the guy just walked in. He's like, "Sure, I'll take this cap."
I mean, he's gonna walk right out.
Yeah,
Their
that's
Shaft
right.
is going very wide on the 10 line. Solo is just elected to not even go there at all.
Right? Exactly. And meanwhile, okay, so now we've got Solo on two caps to Shaft's one. And torpedo soup in the center of the map, which you would expect to see. I'm just wondering how is Shaft going to react to this? I mean, they've got a
Well, we're
Gearing Des
about to
Moines
see. Daring's going to start hitting C. That's almost certainly going to be
spotted.
accompanied by a radar.
He is spotted now. So glad we got that mod fixed. Forced to back out, but looks like we see some shots on the Moskva who got lit.
Gearing is broadside toward the torps. They're heading toward him, although I think he's going to get through the gap
Uh,
that was there.
he's got so much time. He would literally have to hit the S key 5 times and let it sit for like a minute before he gets killed. I think he'll be okay. But yes, he Stress Possum now going in a position to help the Nevsky get re-smoked. As you can see, the smoke from the Haragumo is expiring. So this is that dance I was talking about, that well choreographed dance.
So the other thing of note is enough time has elapsed that Solo has actually gotten a Moskva onto that island near sea.
Yep. Yep.
Um, and I'm not sure he has been lit. He's got the little grayed out exclamation mark, so they do know that there is a Moskva around there. So, and they you can assume that he's gone there.
Right.
Nevsky's
Right.
going to be forced to back way off. Emperor from Solo. It's going to be. He's done his job though. They've
Mm-hmm.
blunted the initial sea cap long enough to get another Moskva around and defend that point for now.
Yep. As we have Shimakaze slap fight once again. Well, they're not shooting yet, so it's just a Shimakaze torp fight on the one line. It's what we saw last game. And Toxic mentioned, remember, we see everybody, but they don't. So let me drop this. Here's what Solo sees right now. A big fat nothing. Of course, they can see some ships and where they were last detected. One mod I would love to see is knowing how long ago that last detect was, right? How recent was that? Um, and then here's what Solo can see. Uh, they can see that one Moskva keeps blinking in and out. And literally that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Here, let's see it so we can see everything. But
So
look,
I would assume Shaft right now is going to kind of rotate back. It looks like they're regrouping to get the decap. They've got their push going on down the 10 line. The Ragnar is going to run into
yep,
both the Des Moines and the accompanying pixelated destroyer's name I can't read.
gearing flow 420.
Any map's literally a blur. But the Daring and the Ohio are going to push into D, and they're gonna flip the cap. I mean, that's going to be their cap from now on.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, the Gearing and Des Moines are actually electing to also head that way. All they have against them is the Ohio and the Ragnar. But again, pushing a cruiser into an Ohio who will just turn out and kite can
Yeah.
go badly.
Well, and they don't know. They probably don't know that it's only an Ohio and a Ragnar up there. They're probably expecting to see at least one Moskva over there. They probably don't know that there's a triple Moskva all the way over on west.
I think
think
by
so?
this point they know.
Well, Selly O Solo has never been detected yet.
Interesting.
So that's the Moskva that's in Charlie 4.
Yeah, I see that. And the Gearing's also never been lit.
Yeah. So again, we were talking about that you got to play it as, what can we run into? And are we prepared to run into that? Blade
Gearing
Solo.
is now spotted.
Yep. Blade coming under fire now. He's lit. He's got lots of shells coming in. Most of them are just going to stern.
And so at this point, I think Solo's also realized that there's just the Shima and the Venezia out on the west side. So they've actually turned Lati around in his Ohio, kind of coming behind the mosque for now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, might as well, right? What else are you going to do?
Yeah.
We got a little bit of a 10-line push action going on for the Gearing and the Des Moines for Shaft. Where's the shots on the Ragnar? There they go. So Des Moines turning himself around. There's the radar. And Nanatori comes up with nothing from that radar. Just lost a little bit of health, but he'll be okay. He's not quite dead yet. Oh, look
the
at
smoke screen. Came down at the point.
Look at the Haragumo.
Can't see it. What's
I know
happening?
Shaft's Haragumo might take it. Oh, just barely went underneath his rudder there.
I'm seeing a replay right now. The Shimakaze went through between two torps that were about Shimakaze in width. Like, that was ridiculous.
Oh right, they're showing you the St. Pete feed, aren't they?
I've got all the beauty shots going on right now. There's a whole bunch of dodge torps. The Ohio actually ate a torp there as well.
Yeah.
Of Kazumi Koizumu something.
Oh yes, I see him all the way on the back there.
Yeah.
Koizumi Junichiro.
But for now, I mean, game is pretty even. I don't think the hit point pools have actually changed substantially. The most of the difference is because of the fact a team has an extra well, they both have an extra cruiser, and the fact they have 3 Moskvas. So,
Yep. Oh,
um,
torpedo hit ethanol. You're probably going to see that replay in a sec. Ethanol just takes a torpedo
oof,
from the
yeah.
Shimakaze. So, and of course, that was meant for the Moskva. You always have to be careful when you're playing a destroyer not to sit in a torpedo lane. That's kind of what happened there. So, remember, Shimakaze does not get a heal, folks.
No, and for now, I mean, cap control is very close. I would say Solo's getting pushed back to some extent, though they
Mm-hmm.
could break through on the west depending how things go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, back in a replay.
Sounds to me like you might want me to uh, do the virtual camera again.
Yeah, at some point. Ooh, Torp's heading toward the Venezia. They do actually time out though, so it looks like what's that? Ethanol is running a 12-kilometer Torps.
I would imagine so. I wonder if I can hit tab and see. It looks like it, yes.
Yeah, so for now, I mean, Moskva's just pushing forward. There's not a ton that's going to be able to blunt that push, other than very long shells from the Yamato, etc.
Yep.
That will just
Venezia,
continue to push the Venezia back. Venezia is actually getting pinched between this pretty
yep.
heavy push right now.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that he got slapped by that other Ohio, and I don't think he was ready for this push. You can see all the shells coming in now from Shaft, trying to dissuade Latisse Solo from, or Latisse Ohio, from charging down and running down this Moskva. Muffled chat ban.
Given the
Names.
position of the Yamato, though, Pega's Endo, you've only got the Ohio who can actually send big, heavy salvos toward that push right now.
Yep. And here comes a salvo. Now that you mentioned that, they're going to fall a little short. Pebega's Yamato actually firing at the Moskva at like ultimate long range. Let's find. Let's follow those shells. They just barely fall a little short.
Might actually be the only thing he can shoot at.
I think so. I think so.
Beyond the Nevsky in Ohio, like
Right.
the opposite corner of the map.
Se-
Torpedoes are arriving at the Moskva, though.
yep. Selly did take a torpedo. That's going to
And they
force
have
him to
to, so he
stop.
does have to be careful here now, Sally, because, well, for now, I mean, the Yamato actually turned around. Sorry, I was looking at that. I thought it was the Haragumo, not the Yamato. Still have to be careful because of Crossfire, the Ohio, etc. So,
Mm-hmm.
oof, man, Moskva actually took 2 torps there over on the one line. Saw a replay of that. But for now, I mean, so Solo has pushed Shaft back at the D cap, but I don't think they can actually get control of that cap in any way.
Yeah.
There's still I mean, Shaft has a ton of ships down there.
Look at the
Uh,
line that's formed on the minimap at this point.
yeah,
Decent chunk on Selly from looked like that was the Ohio. The interesting thing is if Akutian wanted to, he could just push straight into C with his Moskva. He probably doesn't know it right now. But he could just get himself stuck on that island. He'd eventually get farmed out, but that could put Shaft on the back foot.
yeah. Solo was elected to instead send the Ragnar over to the D cap. I'm kind of questioning that.
Yeah.
Sally took another torp there.
He did take another torp. I think that was a battleship salvo.
Oh, there's a torp hit.
Ah.
Just watched it happen.
Another highlight moment coming up here for you. Ah! There it is.
No.
There it
Is it
is.
what I think it is?
Ethanol going down.
Yeah. Saw a set of torps in a triangle, and I was like, oh no, not again. Ragnar
Poor
currently
guy.
actually flipping the decap in a pretty precarious location.
Yep, he is lit, but who can shoot him?
Nobody for now, but I mean, if a Des Moines pops out to shoot him, I don't think there's anything he can do to stop it.
But he's backed up to that island. There's no way he can back up around it. And
True.
Selly goes down in that Moskva, taken out by a daring of all things.
Yeah, there's just a lot of combined fire coming in from all directions. Shaft rotated enough ships to kind of say, "Hey, you want to push us? Come at us."
Yeah.
Um, and sure, they're flipping the decap, but you can see a counter push coming from Solo on the 10 line right now. Nevsky, Gearing, Ohio, they're just pushing
Yeah.
down onto the Des Moines. Although the Gearing feels a little precarious being that far out with a Des Moines right next to you. That could go badly very quickly.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it's a wise decision, but I
Moskva
mean,
is finally pushing up in the middle.
look at the score. Look at the score.
Oh Jesus, I didn't even
That's
see it was that. Yeah.
that's why they were making that desperate play there, because it was so close and Shaft holds on to victory. What?
Too busy looking at the game.
I know, right? Like, and that happens sometimes, guys. We get so ingrained in what's happening that we just, yeah, wow. Whew. So, a couple of interesting events, I guess you could say, that brought us to this point. Yep, okay. That brought us to this point. One, of course, was that Shimakaze taking the first set of torpedoes and then later the follow-up set, which ultimately spelled out